This will be a mental health series. This is similar to something I did quite a few years ago, but no longer exists on the channel anymore. Now, when talking about mental health and stuff of that nature, I believe at least the way that I want to do it is transparency. So, quite a few disclaimers here. I am not a professional. I have never been trained. I just suffer with a hell of a lot of mental health problems slash quote unquote conditions. And I've been through a lot in my life. So, not professional, no training whatsoever. This is just me as a human being, just talking through experiences, possibly talking through, again, quote unquote, conditions. And that is it, basically. I hope through this series that I will possibly be able to work through some stuff, maybe be able to help people, maybe. But mainly it's because I'm not a professional. I guess this is a place where I can talk that is safe and will be safe for you guys. So whether you guys get in on the conversation or not, that is completely up to you, and I completely understand. But more so, this is kind of a safe place. I can express myself. You guys can express yourself. Within that, though, trigger warnings. I'm not intending to trigger anyone. I don't want that, but obviously, when talking about mental health, stuff can get quite heavy, stuff can get quite serious, as it should be with mental health. But yeah, so I'm not intending to trigger, but trigger warnings ahead. Okay, guys. So this one's a bit difficult. Well, it's very difficult for me. With what happened to me last year and dying and all that stuff, right? I had a shitstorm in my head where I wanna. I should have started this with. I need to get something straight. That this is. I spent a long time with me, myself, and and I'm only talking about this now because I've semi got it right and I've kind of come out of what I'm going to be talking about today. So this is me talking in past tense and me just explaining what was going on and why I was so kind of checked out. Um, and this is a weird thing for me because obviously I survived everything, and it's so weird to kind of look at. But when they brought me back and everything, and I came home and all of that stuff, I had this weird thing in my head where I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy that I survived, and I wanted that peace. And when I came home, there was several things to deal with, and not that this happens for anybody or everybody, but it really did hit me how much the world doesn't stop. The world doesn't care, and you can't put it on pause. And there was a massive part of me that just checked, almost all of me that checked out. Completely checked out. And I was done. I was not, well, I wasn't even numb. It wasn't a numb place. It was cold. And my fear was, if I spoke about it, kind of like I'm doing now, that there would be a lot of pain and there would be a lot of upset to friends and loved ones, which I understood that. Like, I remember, while I was going through all this, I remember knowing that, and I had kind of acknowledged that, and, but, yeah, it was, I think the build-up of my granddad's funeral, the stuff that happened in the hospital, and then I came back, and it was just boom, boom, boom. And my perception of it was that people just expected me to get on with it. And it wasn't people being angry or aggressive or negative about it. I think it was more people just trying to make sure I was okay. And again, I got that. But I had this kind of almost dark secret. Well, it was that I wasn't happy that I had survived it at the time. And I knew that I really struggled with that, and I was so alone with it because I didn't want, I didn't want the noise of it at the time. I don't think I really wanted to talk about it, and in my eyes, you can't just explain that and then not say anything about it. That's not right either. So I was kind of locked. I was kind of locked into this weird place. And I think that's why I just kind of checked out, and I was just spamming content at the time. Like so my day basically went, I woke up, I cried, I recorded, edited, uploaded, recorded, edited, uploaded, recorded, edited, uploaded, and drunk so then I could go to sleep. I wasn't getting drunk every night, but I was drinking. I was self-medicating. And I knew that was unhealthy, but I couldn't switch off. I couldn't switch off where I was. And I know that this video is a lot more personal and heavy, and I get that. But now I'm in... And again, the only reason why I'm making this video now is because I'm not okay, but I'm coming out of it and I'm able to kind of look at it. I can't stare at it yet, but I can look at it and I can acknowledge it and I can see, okay, this is kind of what was going on, and I'm kind of walking on ground rather than feeling like I'm getting buried. And that's quite nice, honestly. And I guess the message that I kind of want to do in this video is that if you're not going through something like I went through, but the feelings of what I went through, it's okay. And what I mean by that is it's okay to take the time to translate or just completely ignore it and then, try and go back to it and examine it. Obviously, don't ignore it to the point where something really bad happens or you're a danger to yourself or anybody else. I'm not suggesting that, but yeah, there's a lot. There was a lot of me kind of just going, I don't know what this means. Am I broken? Am I, because inside my head I should have just been like, oh my god, I've come through this, but that wasn't my reality, at all, actually. But yeah, and again, I understand that this is going to be hard for some people to listen to, but at the end of the day, I, yeah, I just felt completely buried, and I just given up. And I guess that kind of started before I went into hospital. And again, I can acknowledge that now, but I can't trace back where that started and where I gave up. I'm not there yet. I can't do that. But yeah, again, guys, I'm functioning. I've got my fire back. It's probably gonna take years for me to really kind of fully look at it and unpack it. But and I'm explaining this now again because I feel comfortable enough to talk about it, and also because I know I checked out. And I don't know if people realize why, or, that's my biggest thing, I guess, that I don't want people thinking that well, a lot of people did a lot of things, actually, which made it worse, but I'm not touching that in this video. But, yeah, there was a lot around it where I was like, okay, I'm able to talk about it now, and at least if I get it out, then people can know. Because I think it's important, and I've always believed this, that if you have something to say, and you want to say something, not forced or manipulated into saying something, but it's very important to do that, and get that off your chest. So, yeah, I know this video probably won't go down well with a lot of people, but it's just the truth. As I said, I'm not even going to say that I'm okay now, but I can at least talk about it, and that's really good for me. Yeah, I'm sorry this one was a dark and kind of out of the blue thing, but that's what I've been dealing with. So yeah. Yeah, thank you for listening.